Good morning and happy Thanksgiving. I'm Stephen Romo in for Joe and Savannah today. And thank you for taking time during your holiday to tune in here. Let's start this morning with the potentially dicey travel conditions people could face across the U.S. today. Experts say it should be relatively quiet in terms of traffic, but forecasters predict a winter storm could drop up to 6 inches of snow across parts of New England. This could create icy, wet roads on multiple major interstates. Out west, an Arctic outbreak could threaten whiteout driving conditions for parts of Wyoming, Colorado, and Utah. Experts warn to be extra careful, especially as temperatures continue to drop over the weekend. We have travel expert Mark Elwood here with some tips to make your holiday travel as smooth as possible, and meteorologist Angie Lastman standing by with the latest forecast. But we start with NBC News correspondent Aaron McLaughlin, who is live in Dix Hills on New York's Long Island. Aaron, good morning. How are things looking?
Hey, Stephen, good morning and happy Thanksgiving. With all this wet weather here in the Northeast, authorities are urging folks to be extra careful out there on the roads, although experts say Thanksgiving Day is actually the best day of this busy holiday travel period to drive. Meanwhile, this morning, authorities say they're investigating how a stowaway flew from New York City all the way to France.
This morning, the Thanksgiving travel crush is on, with nearly 80 million people hitting the road, air, and rail. It comes amid a major security breach at New York's JFK Airport.
They've directed us to keep everyone on the airplane until we sort out the extra passenger that's on the plane.
A stowaway managed to get through the airport security screening process without a ticket, boarding a Delta flight from New York to Paris, according to the TSA. She was not discovered until shortly before the plane landed.
There were no empty seats on the flight, so the assumption is that she was hiding in one of the lavatories during takeoff.
The TSA says it expects to screen a record 18.3 million travelers from Tuesday through Monday, about 6% more than last year.
I honestly should not have made my flight.
Winter weather posing challenges in the air and on the road. Denver leading the country in flight delays for much of the day, and Newark passengers experiencing 95-minute delays amid an ongoing shortage of air traffic controllers. But despite long TSA lines, most flights on time for most of the country. And with most Thanksgiving travelers hitting the road this week, dangerous conditions from an Arctic outbreak causing headaches in the center of the country. Whiteout conditions on highways in Wyoming and snow in the mountains of Colorado.
We've definitely seen a lot of stuck cars and cars off the side of the road.
Meanwhile, back to that stowaway incident this morning, Delta Airlines releasing a statement to NBC News saying they are investigating what happened there, adding that, quote, nothing is of greater importance than matters of safety and security. Now, in terms of travel with what remains of this busy holiday stretch, experts say the busiest travel day is expected to be on Sunday, with a whopping 3 million passengers expected to go through TSA checkpoints on Sunday, Stephen.
Well, hopefully all of this turkey will be worth it. Aaron McLaughlin, thank you so much. Well, we are looking at a cold and rainy Turkey Day for the Northeast, and quite the chill setting in from the upper Midwest to the Southeast. Here with more on that is NBC meteorologist Angie Lastman with your holiday forecast. Good morning, Angie.
Good morning, Stephen. We, of course, have the rain and the snow that we've been waiting for across the east here, and that has arrived into the overnight hours, and it's really causing a mess for folks trying to get out and make those Turkey Day events and plans and get on the roads. Boston to New York down to Washington, D.C., that's where the rain is. Notice the interior areas of New England, though, that's where the snow is. As we get through the second half of the day, a lot of that is going to work out from New York to Washington, D.C. Even Boston, you'll start to see things wrapping up as the day comes to an end. But notice the snow sticks around into the evening hours. We're still going to be looking at likely the delayed travel, especially along I-95. And any of those outdoor activities, like perhaps the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, still going to be dealing with the rain for at least the first half of the day. I don't think in places like New York City you'll see that rain come to an end until maybe mid-afternoon. So all of this being said, that means that it's going to be a slow go on the roads and potentially in the air in some spots. This is where the trouble spots are when it comes to the travel and just outdoor plans in general. But notice the rest of the country, essentially dry everywhere else. We've got San Francisco expected with mostly sunny conditions, mid-30s in Chicago, so chilly, but dry skies and even bright conditions there. Albuquerque ending up in the low 50s along with Little Rock. So most of us are going to be pretty good. We'll see the cold air settling in. But again, it's things like I-95, I-90, I-70, parts of I-20 that could see some rain and potentially snow in some of those spots that'll likely make it a little more difficult for you to get where you're going. And then after the holiday, post-holiday fun, you're likely looking at a mainly quiet country from coast to coast for your Friday. The only areas I want you to really pay close attention to as far as delays for airports and the roads, that's going to be across parts of the Great Lakes where we'll see that lake effect snow start to ramp up. What happens is the system that's bringing us the rain right now, that moves out, but cold winds are left behind. So that's really going to turn on the snow machine, especially downwind of those lakes. So that means delays likely in places like Detroit, Chicago could see some potential, but everywhere else, Boston to Atlanta, down to Miami, out west towards Los Angeles, you will likely not see any air delays as far as your weather is concerned. On the roads, similar stories, and that kind of is that repeat performance that we see for Saturday. Notice the snow piling up. We'll have substantial amounts of snow there. The only other thing that will be a big change is we'll start to get really chilly temperatures. December comes in hot with temperatures into the teens in places like Minneapolis as we finish out our weekend. That cold is going to continue. We'll see it as far south as places like Atlanta as we top out on Sunday just into the mid-50s. So chilly indeed. Lake effect snow still ongoing. But of course, it's all about today with that Thanksgiving Day parade. And unfortunately, not the news that you want to hear if you're standing out on the parade route. But we've got that steady rain that will likely be in play. The one good news, winds aren't going to be all that impressive for the time frame of the parade. So 5 to 10 miles per hour, still okay for getting those floats up. It's just kind of the rain that really puts a damper on things with those temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. Big picture look for the winter alerts across the Northeast and New England, really. That's where, Stephen, we're going to be looking at the potential of a couple feet of snow to pile up by the time we get through the weekend.
Well, those crowds outside of 30 Rock, Angie, they are undeterred by this rain.
They sure are. And they've been out there since 3 o'clock in the morning, so they are seeing those floats go by for sure.
Naively, I thought maybe fewer people. No, it is packed.
You were going to try to sneak in there, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a challenge, let's say that. Thanks for that update, Angie. We appreciate it. Well, whether you are staying inside, hopefully away from the rain or snow, or basking in some warmer temperatures somewhere, a lot of us are probably thinking about what or maybe how much we're going to eat today. What you're most likely not thinking about at the moment anyway is that return trip home. But with it being a record-breaking year for Thanksgiving travel, a little pre-planning could help minimize stress for that post-holiday journey. Travel expert Mark Elwood is here to help us with that. Mark, good morning. Thanks for taking some time out of your holiday to being here with us. And despite a much higher number of people driving to their holiday destinations, the risk for trouble for travel is really a lot higher when you have to go through an airport. So what should people do if their flight home maybe gets delayed or even canceled?
Remember, the Department of Transportation very kindly has put together an airline services dashboard. So if you go to transportation.gov, you'll be able to see exactly what each airline will give you if there are problems. Remember, weather is usually an exception that's carved out, so you have fewer rights if it's not the airline's fault. What I would always encourage you to do if there are problems is call overseas. Remember, the local phone numbers will be really busy because in America, this is a holiday. I grew up in Britain. It's just a Thursday in November in Britain. So call that number because it's not a busy time to call. Most of the airlines will have international numbers you can call, and I guarantee it'll be much quicker than that poor person domestically who's also wishing they weren't working the holiday.
What a great hack. I got to remember that one. And as we mentioned, a lot of people are going to be driving. So what times should they avoid hitting the road when they try to get home? I've heard a bit of a range here. What's your take?
Yeah. Look, you're a morning person, or you have to make yourself a morning person. To avoid those traffic jams, you've got to get up early. Get up early on Monday, and you'll do brilliantly. Get up early on Sunday, you'll do brilliantly. If you have a lie-in either day, you're really going to hit a lot of traffic. So honestly, get a nice early night on Saturday, crack a dawn on Sunday, or crack a dawn on Monday. You're going to get home much, much more quickly.
Well, Mark, some people are skipping grandma's house this year, and they are going abroad for Thanksgiving, especially places that are warmer and sunnier. Yeah. What are some of the top international holiday travel spots this year?
What we're seeing is everyone is going to the Caribbean, and who can blame them? You've seen the weather in the Northeast. You want a little bit of sun. And interestingly, Germany has snuck in there. I'm really curious whether it's the Christmas markets, whether it's perhaps a sort of extended Oktoberfest. Maybe there are great flight deals. You'll see that actually Europe at the moment is very, very affordable because, again, for Europe, it's just November. But I would encourage you, there are 12,000 more hotel rooms in the Caribbean this year than there were in 2019 before the pandemic. And I think that's bringing people to the Caribbean because when there's more supply, the prices go down. So you've always got to follow the money.
Wow, what a shift from 2019. Mark, I also wanted to ask you before you go, let's look ahead to the end of the year holidays, whether people are heading out for Christmas, Hanukkah, or New Year's. What days are looking the best for travel this year?
So it's one of those pesky holiday seasons where the Christmas Day is right in the middle of the week. So remember, try to avoid the weekends either side because most people who are taking that week off are thinking, gosh, I'm going to make the most of it. So if you can manage it, travel on a weekday and you'll find you'll get a much, much more pleasant experience on the roads or on a plane.
All right. Some good advice. Mark Elwood, thanks so much for joining us on this holiday. You as well. Now to an update on Sean Diddy Combs this morning. He remains behind bars after being denied bail by a third judge. The judge overseeing his sex trafficking and racketeering case ruled yesterday that Combs must stay in the New York detention center where he's been since his arrest back in September. In the ruling, the presiding judge said no conditions will, quote, reasonably assure the safety of the community if Combs were to be granted release. Prosecutors say releasing him would be detrimental. They also accuse the music mogul of witness tampering while behind bars. Combs has denied any wrongdoing. All right, turning to the transition of power. Overnight, President-elect Trump and a high-stakes phone call with Mexico's president addressing tariffs, border security, and more. Meanwhile, the FBI is now investigating a series of threats targeting several high-profile members of the upcoming administration. NBC News senior White House correspondent Kelly O'Donnell joins us from West Palm Beach, Florida, with the latest on this. Kelly, good morning. What do we know about this?
Good morning, Stephen. We're tracking a number of different things here. So on the issue of the threats made against Trump world figures, no explosives were found. And that's why authorities refer to these as hoax threats. But it still set off a lot of concern for a number of Trump world figures and their families because local law enforcement had to respond to their homes from New York to Florida. And then separately, Mr. Trump is conducting some of his own negotiations and phone calls with world leaders.
New this morning, fallout over President-elect Trump's latest tariff warnings against Mexico. A tax he claims could be imposed to reduce the flow of migrants and drugs. Just hours after Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum responded with her own tariff threats, the leader spoke in a phone call described as excellent and wonderful. Writing on Truth Social, Mr. Trump went further, declaring she agreed to stop migration through Mexico and into the United States, effectively closing our southern border. Claiming President Sheinbaum assured him that migrant caravans were no longer reaching the U.S. However, she later responded on X saying Mexico's position is not to close borders. Meanwhile, this comes amid a new wave of threats made against the president-elect's team, raising alarm bells. Considered hoaxes so far, but disrupting the holiday week for Mr. Trump's cabinet picks and inner circle. The transition team described this as violent, un-American threats to their lives and those who live with them. These attacks range from bomb threats to swatting. Tom Homan, Mr. Trump's future border czar, says he is taking this seriously.
I'm not going to be intimidated by these people. They're not going to silence me.
Designated Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says a credible pipe bomb threat was made to his home, where his 7 children were still sleeping. And the Choice 4 EPA Director Lee Zeldin said a bomb threat included a pro-Palestinian message to his Long Island neighborhood.
A lot of law enforcement came out. We had some Secret Service for Lee. Bomb squad came out and they did the robotic search.
According to law enforcement, no explosives were found, and the threats were conveyed by email and social media. The FBI said it takes all potential threats seriously, and President Biden has been updated.
And a spokesperson for President Biden also said that he and his administration unequivocally condemn any threats of political violence. Investigators are going to try to find out who made these threats, which were sent via email and social media. So there are certainly cyber ways of trying to track down the perpetrators. And then separately, because there's always so much going on in the Trump orbit, there is also news of a special dinner last night. Not Thanksgiving. This was Mark Zuckerberg, the tech titan, was invited to join the president-elect for dinner at Mar-a-Lago. And Zuckerberg's company Meta says that he appreciated the invitation to meet with the president-elect and to talk with members of his future administration. And that, of course, is notable because they have had a lot of public back and forth, critical of each other. There was a point where Mr. Trump was knocked off Facebook and then later restored after January 6th because of all of that. There's been a lot of back and forth. So the fact that they met, and given the importance of how the president-elect is dealing with business executives and all of these issues, that is certainly a notable happening at Mar-a-Lago. Stephen?
To be a fly on that wall. All right, Kelly O'Donnell, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.